All of this was really weird, but I'm thankful that it happened. Hi there, yo folks. Welcome back to the Modern Yeoman, another Work With Me Wednesday edition. I've got kind of an interesting update, a good update that's kind of changed the nature of how things are going to be going the next few weeks and moving forward. And it's a good update. Things are good. I'm going to be busier than ever, but I'm going to be busy here on the homestead and not at my night job. We'll talk about that here in a minute, but first, I've got to move some chickens around. So if you want to hang out with me and join along, let's go. It's very cumbersome to move them like this. Basically what I'll do, since they're still pretty small, I'm putting them in the stock tank, their brooder stock tank, and then I'll move this a little bit, then move the tractor, then move it again until I've moved the tractor's length. They're still small enough to where I don't want to run over them when I'm moving the tractor. In another week or two, I think they'll be big enough to where I don't need to do this. And I probably won't even have the stock tank in here at all, to be honest. This is just a measure that allows them to be out here when they're still kind of young. But I've got to deal with this. All right. So they're all in here, and I'm going to put this at the very front of the tractor, move the tractor, move this again, then move the tractor again. I should be all set. Let's do it. So I've been working now for a little over a week, and it's quickly become very apparent how fast things break down when I'm not here to take care of the homestead. Now Holly, bless her heart, and my parents, bless their hearts, they're all very busy too, so there's only so much time that they could devote to keeping up with chores here on the homestead. Everyone's very busy. And so when I'm taken out of the picture, like I said, it quickly became apparent how quick things kind of went to pot. The garden started getting overgrown. The grass, the lawn started kind of getting overgrown and weedy. The only thing I've been able to focus on my downtime, the time when I'm not at work, the few lucid hours I have between when I wake up and before I have to go to work, gear up for work at around 2, 3 in the afternoon. The only thing I've been able to focus on is the chickens. Now, the lawn, it can get overgrown. I can mow it. Weeds, I can weed whip. The garden, I can go in and fix. But the chickens, that's something that requires constant attention. So that's what I've been giving all of my attention to, is the over 50 chickens that we have here on the homestead. And I've been able to keep up with them, but it has been a struggle to do anything else. Like I said, I've been kind of watching the homestead fall apart, get shaggy on me as I've been working. And like I said earlier, my folks and Holly, they've been helping in every way that they can. And God bless them, because they really have been helping me, especially when I'm gone and doing all the chicken chores at night. But the homestead itself is essentially on a hiatus while I'm doing this job. And that actually leads me to a very encouraging, happy update. I'm not going to get into all of the details, but suffice it to say, this job that I'm working at, this assignment, is actually going to end next week for me, which is a very good thing, because I can come back to here. And we've actually found out that there are a couple of fortuitous things that have occurred in our life to where I can go back to full-time homesteading starting next week. So the good news is that I'll be a full-time homesteader starting again next week. This little jaunt into full-time employment has really shown me how fortunate I am to be able to devote most, if not all, of my time to homesteading. And the fact that I'll be getting back into that next week is really just an answered prayer. Like I said, there's been some fortuitous events that have led us to the point where I don't need to work full-time, at least. So I may get back into seasonal work here in the future if and when we need to, but starting next week, I'll be back on the homestead full-time, thankfully. And I'll need to do some catch-up, as you can just see behind me. Look at all the weeds, look at all the overgrown. The chickens I've been keeping up with, but that's it. Everything else has kind of gone to pot. So starting next week, I'm going to have some catch-up. I'm going to be working on the garden. I'm actually going to sow some cover crops in the beds, harvest a lot of stuff, but I'll be back to doing this full-time. And I'll have a lot more time to devote to the YouTube. I may continue doing these Work With Me Wednesday episodes. I'm not sure. You guys seem to like them a lot. It's kind of a fun creative challenge for me to kind of mix it up and have a low production episode once a week and then a regular production episode once a week. So I may continue doing the Work With Me Wednesday low production episodes. I'm rambling. The fact is that I'm really, really happy that I can get back to doing what I love, what I'm passionate about, and what I find a lot of meaning in. And that's working on the homestead full-time. And that'll be, Fighter agrees, that will be starting next week. In the meantime, I'm going to be very busy in the next week. I'd still like to put out my regular Sunday episode this coming Sunday for you guys. I will actually have a 3-day weekend because it's Labor Day coming up. So I'll have some time to kind of prep myself for a return back to the homestead. It's, like I said, it's been a really interesting couple of weeks here. I've learned a lot, and I'm very thankful for the opportunity to get back here. Like I said, I'm rambling. Anyways, there's a lot that I need to focus on. My time is very limited. So I'm going to knock some things out because I actually have to get ready to go to work tonight. And I think I have a total of 5 shifts left that I need to do. So I'm going to go get ready for work, but I wanted to give you guys a quick update. I also wanted to let everyone know that I haven't been very active on my YouTube channels. A lot of folks that I subscribe to, if I'm not as comment heavy as I normally am, if I'm not engaging as much as I normally am, now you know why. I've been just completely strapped for time. And same thing with me answering comments. I may not get to comments on my videos right away, but hopefully, again, starting next week, things will start to shift back into a normal pace for me. Anyways, thanks for hanging out. I wanted to give you guys a quick update on how things are going. All of this was really weird, but I'm thankful that it happened. It's going to be a strange blip that I look back on. And again, I'll be thankful. I'll be very, very thankful that all of this happened, because it really showed me how fortunate and blessed that we are. So, again, thanks for hanging out with me, guys, for this update. Until next time, remember, as always, slowly, slowly.